Listen, every human walking around has three ghosts tugging at their shirt: the past, the present, and the future. They're not here to ruin you. They're here to teach you how to stand tall in the middle of a storm. Anxiety is the language they use when you've forgotten to listen. Past anxiety is like a basement full of boxes you never opened. Somewhere in there, a younger you fell, cried, and decided the world wasn't safe. The grown-up you built a house on top of that basement and pretended it didn't exist. But your body never forgets. When you walk near the edge of a cliff, when you speak up in a meeting, when you love someone too much, the body whispers, "Careful." It's not trying to sabotage you. It's trying to finish a sentence that got cut off years ago. Healing starts when you go down there and let the kid talk. Not to drown in the memory, but to pick up what got dropped. In neuroscience terms, you're reconsolidating the memory, pulling it out of cold storage so the brain can update it with new information. You survived. You're safe now. In spiritual language, that's redemption. In psychological language, that's integration. Same thing, different dialect. Now present moment anxiety. There's the static of our era. We bathe in blue light and bad news. We scroll through 1,000 lives an hour and call it connection. The nervous system never gets to exhale. It's like keeping your foot on the accelerator while wondering why the engine overheats. You're not broken. You're overstimulated. So what's the medicine? Space. Actual silence. Boredom even. The nervous system digests experience the same way the stomach digests food. It needs pauses between bites. Sit still. Feel the weight of the day in your body, and you'll notice the mind's storms start to separate into distinct clouds. This is fear. This is fatigue. This is hunger. This is just noise. That sorting process is the mind's way of neutralizing the charge. Biochemically, it's the prefrontal cortex coming back online, telling your amygdala, stand down. Spiritually, it's presence. Same process, two vocabularies. Then there's future anxiety, the endless what-ifs. The brain's job is to predict. It's a forecasting machine. It scans the horizon for lines that don't exist anymore, and sometimes confuses unknown with danger. But that same mechanism, it's also imagination. That same neural network that creates fear of the future is the one that creates innovation, hope, and vision. The lever that moves it from one to the other is awareness. The moment you catch yourself spiraling into catastrophe, ask, what if it works out better than I think? You've just hijacked the prediction circuitry and pointed it toward possibility. Recognize, feel, neutralize, organize. That's the cycle. First, recognize. Name what's happening without running from it. Like a scientist observing a chemical reaction, stay curious. Then feel. Emotion is energy in motion. The only way out is through. Suppressing it just drives it underground where it ferments. Next, neutralize. Breathe. Observe. Let the charge discharge through your breath, through movement, through honest expression. Finally, organize. Decide what you want to grow in that empty space that remains once the storm passes. Do this and something quiet but radical happens. You start trusting yourself again. The panic attacks shrink, not because you fought them, but because you finally listened. Panic is the body shouting, "You can't live this fast anymore." Ignore that call. Life will find a louder way to get your attention. Illness, burnout, collapse. Listen, and the same energy becomes fuel for clarity and creativity. Science agrees with spirit on this point. Awareness changes physiology. When you bring attention to a sensation, you shift blood flow, slow heart rate, regulate cortisol. When you reframe a thought, you literally rewire synapses. Karma in plain language. It's just cause and effect repeated across time. What you don't face now returns later wearing a bigger mask. Face it early and you evolve. Avoid it and you revolve. The paradox is that anxiety, once befriended, becomes intuition. It's the same current, but now you can steer it. You start sensing the difference between a genuine warning and an outdated alarm. You start moving through the world with grounded alertness instead of chronic tension. That's the birth of wisdom. Not a state of calm that never wavers, but the ability to ride the waves without capsizing. And the modern world will keep tempting you to numb out. One more scroll, one more dopamine hit, one more distraction. But every time you resist that reflex and sit in the quiet, you're training the muscle of consciousness. You're telling your system, I can handle reality. That's strength, that's maturity. That's the divine masculine in action. Not dominance, but stewardship of your own attention. So when the next surge hits, whether it's a memory, a headline, or a late night worry about money, treat it like a knock on the door. Open it. Ask it, what are you trying to show me? Sometimes it's an old wound. Sometimes it's a signal that something in your life needs adjusting. Either way, you're back in relationship with your own inner guidance instead of running from it. Over time, this practice reshapes identity itself. You stop identifying as an anxious person and start recognizing anxiety as a momentary visitor, a messenger, not a master. And each time you meet it with awareness, you prove to yourself you're bigger than the feeling. That proof accumulates. It becomes confidence, resilience, faith. Not the blind kind, but the earned kind. So here's the challenge. Stop searching for quick fixes. Sit with the discomfort until it tells you its name. Reconnect with the rhythms that technology and rushing have stolen. Breathe. Nature. Stillness. Honest human connection. The reward isn't just relief, it's transformation. The past stops haunting you. The present stops overwhelming you. The future stops intimidating you. You start to live from the center instead of the edges. And that's the quiet revolution no one can sell you. Turning anxiety from an enemy into an ally. From chaos into coherence. Science calls it regulation. The mystics call it awakening. Call it whatever you want. It's the same movement. Energy finding its right place. When you remember that, the storms still come. But now you know how to dance in the rain. That's the work. That's the freedom.